Good afternoon, everyone. I think we're here. So I am Dawn. I'm from Pink Frog and I'm one of the demonstrators. So you know from Pink Frog we do a Facebook Live or a live every Monday and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. So Claire normally does Monday, I do Wednesday. So today I am going to bring and share with you the beautiful flower dies. Now this may look back to front at the minute, but when I go in the overhead, you're going to see everything close up. And yes, this is low today because I'm going to go as close as I possibly can to share with you how to make the gorgeous flowers. So we're going to be making beautiful flowers that look like this. So they're 3D. We are going to be doing, there's another one. There's another one just there. And I've forgotten my boards. So I'm just going to call my lovely husband if he can come and get my boards for me because it's in the other room. But not a problem. I'm going to just share a few housekeeping pieces with you. So at Pink Frog, if you sign up to our newsletter for the Pink Frog website, you get 10% off everything on the website, and the code changes each month. So you've got those offers every month, but you must sign up to the newsletter and you'll be sent a new code each month. We also do weekly offers as well. So this week's offers are let me bring one, I've got one just here, the Crafter's Companion tape pens. These are £2.50 now, but don't forget if you have your discount code, you can get a further 10% off that as well. And we also have our 15 by 30 card stock. Got mine all in my storage wallet ready. We have that as well, and you've got 15% off that. And if you sign up for the newsletter as well, you get another 10% on top of that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my camera round so you can see what we're going to be making, and I'm going to just dash and get my boards to share with you. So let me just flip this round. Now the camera's going to be right down close because I want you to see everything that I am going to be doing this afternoon. So let me just get the other boards. I did call you. Right, there we go. So these are a couple of the flowers I'm going to be making with you today. Now we're going to do the roses, and we are also going to do the lovely fuchsias. So I've just added these to a couple of cards, but you could use these on your home decor, the front of memory books, all sorts of things. So let me bring the dies in that you're going to need to make the cards. So I've got my dies just here because this still amazes me. It still amazes me, and I know a lot of you have seen these dies. So these are our Brittania flower dies. So the smaller ones, well, I say smaller, this is the size I've been working with. You can see they all come on one strip. So we're going to die cut everything out together. We've got all different sizes, but this one die makes lots of different types of flowers. So let me share this board with you. So we've got the beautiful roses. We've got the fuchsias, sorry. We've got the poppies. But can you see these are all the different sizes that you can make? But all these flowers, we've got poppies, we've got the daisies, we've got the sunflowers, we've got the carnations, and I'm trying to think what the last one is called. Let me bring in my book to show you. But all of these different styles of flowers are made with the one die. So with Brittania flower making dies, there's 2 books available. So you can purchase the books separately if you wish. We are doing a really big bundle where you're going to get the books, the dies, 50 sheets of your 160 Super Smooth. That's what I'm going to be using today. And that comes in at £50. However, you can take your 10% discount off, because we're doing 10% off all the Brittania dies at the moment as well. And then on top of that, you can take your signing up for the newsletter discount off and get even more off. But let me walk you through. So the 3 people here, we've got Gwen, Mrs. Pink Frog, Anita and George. They help design all what you're going to be seeing this afternoon. So the dies, how we're going to put them together. But the book tells you everything you're going to need. Okay, so gather your supplies. Wrong book. We're going to do this one today. That's next week's. That's a little sneak peek for next week. So you're going to gather your supplies. This one shows you how to make the lovely roses, but you can see it's step by step in stages, so you can do it along in a time that suits you, at a pace that suits you. But today I am going to be doing that with you. So that is our lovely rose. So you've got the dancing daisies as well. This is just one book. You've got those lovely fuchsias. We're going to be making those. We've got the Aquilegia, or as people tell me, it's called Granny's Bonnet. I know some people have that in the garden. We've got the poppies as well. And we've also got the sunflowers. So that's all in book 1. In book 2, you're going to make lots of other different flowers. And don't forget to sort of tune next week, because, yes, I'm going to be making daffodils, but I haven't told you, so don't worry about that yet. But we're going to make the flowers. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let's start off with the roses. So I'm going to get my book open at roses, and I'm going to make, let's do this size, I think, or should we? No, let's do the bigger one. So we'll do the bigger one. So take my die, and I'm going to take some of the 160 GSM Super Smooth, because this is perfect for this. And I'm just going to pop this through my die cutting machine. Okay. And I'll pop that through. Now I've got 2 sheets, obviously. I folded it in half. And you'll find, because you're using thinner cardstock or thinner paper, you could do several layers at one time. So if you're batch making these cards or these flowers, it means you can do lots at one time, which is really, really good. So let's just take this out here, because I want to take you through the whole process of what we're going to be doing. So let's just pop those out. Be bringing my tool just to make life a little bit easier. So I've gone through 2 layers. Now, when you read through your book, it exactly tells you how many pieces you're going to need for each flower. So for the roses, I know I need 4 of these. I've got 1, 2. Let's just take that apart. Oh, that's it. It's joined together. 3, 4. And we need 1 of the calyx, which is going to be the leaves. So I'm going to pop these little bits just to one side, because that's going to make me another flower. But let's start off with 1. So I'm going to bring my blending mat in, because the first thing I want to do is to colour my flowers. And I'm going to use my Lisa Halton inks today. So I've picked Yellow Candy and Ripe Mango. You've seen me use these before. Okay, so these are the interference inks from Lisa Holton, and these are available as well from Pink Frog. Okay, so let's start off with a bit of yellow candy, and I'm also going to need my green. I haven't got that one out, have I? No, I haven't. I'll get that one out. But let's start off with the yellow. So I'm going to go in with the yellow. So this paper isn't shimmery at all, but because these are interference inks, these are going to help to give your paper a lovely shimmery luster. Now I am inking on both sides because then you've got the colour on both sides of your flowers. All right, so let's get another one. I'm going to do a couple in the yellow, then I'm going to go in with my the mango one. So I'm going to do a mix of two, because the nice thing about roses is they come in all sorts of colours, which is perfect. So just inking across, and it's on your blending mat, so it doesn't matter. So we'll have a couple in that colour, and then I'm going to bring a couple in this colour as well, just so we've got a bit of a mix of colours going on. So, oh, that one broke. That doesn't matter. You've got a spare. And this is it. If it does break, don't worry about it. You know, that is the nice thing about it. It's just paper. And I would recommend going about a 160 down to, say, a 120. I wouldn't go any lower than that for your flowers. And I know there's a few people that follow Pink Frog have made lots of these. So I can't see all your messages at the moment, but not a problem, because you know me, I'll come back and answer them all at the end. But we've got the lovely Kim from Pink Frog there on hand as well. Move that leaf out of the way. So by doing it this way, you're just allowing the ink to dry as well while I'm talking to you. So remember, yes, you've got 10% off your Brittania inks. You've got not your Brittania inks, off your big bundle. The big bundle is the way to go, because you've got everything that you need to make these flowers in all these different sizes. And I'm going to bring in a bit of Summer Garden just to do my green leaves, or green calyx. But I like the fact you've got everything on one die. So you just one pass, you can double up that cardstock. That's the nice thing about it. So you can really, you know, just batch make these. I've really enjoyed this. I found this quite relaxing. And what I tend to, well, what I do personally is I die cut and colour, and then in the evening I sit there in my chair with my lap tray, and I just sit and make flowers, because it's just so relaxing. So let's bring my mat in. I'm just going to move my blending mat to one side so we can make a start. So I've got my 4 pieces here. Okay. And the first tool you're going to need is a good pokey tool. All right, I've got a nice tool set here, so I've got everything that I need. Now, if you look through the instructions, you can see what they've done. You need to have this in your hand to do this. I personally find it's easier if you've got your pokey tool. Let's bring that up a bit and just drag it across the petal. Okay, so just you let the tool, and this is a foam mat I'm using here. It's quite dense foam. It's not like don't know how to describe it, but it's like a dense foam. So really good. So you've got this lovely effect going on with your flowers, or the first one, and then I'm just going to pinch it together in my hand. There we go. So that's the first bit. So let's glue this one together. This is going to be the little bud that goes right in the centre of your rose. So I'm using my fine nozzle glue bottle. I'm using the blue one, which is the really fine glue. Okay, I'm going to lay it on there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on one side of each of the petals. Okay, I might just put a little bit on that side as well. And then if you pick it up in your hand and you're going to cup them round, you're going to cut one round. So they're sort of going in a layer, if you like. Okay, so I'm going to lay that round to that one and bring that one up to that one. So you've got it in your hand looking like a tiny little bud. And this is the time to take it in your hand. And if I check my little book here as well, it says pick up your petal and bud and close it and roll it between your fingers and thumb, because the glue's a little bit wet. You know the EVA glue dries quickly. I'm going to pop a little bit more on there because that one doesn't seem to be wanting to stick. And you're just squeezing that together and just giving that a time just to set. So when I'm happy with that, which I think that's good, I'm going to lay that now on my mat. And now I'm going to work on these 3 elements. So what I need now is my round nose pliers, okay, for this. And we're going to do what they call spider's legs. So you're going to take your pliers, pinch the end, and you're just rolling it. So you're going to roll it back on itself. So you've got that effect going on. I didn't ink the back side of that one. That's very naughty of me, but it'll be okay. So you're going to roll it back on itself. So round again. And because we've inked the paper, it's softened the paper. Paper has had a memory when it's been made to be flat. We're now changing that because we're forcing it to do something different. So it just takes that little moment to do. So it's just very relaxing to do. I hope you're all enjoying me watching me do this, because it is very relaxing, and it just amazes me how one die set can make so many different flowers. It's just unbelievable. When you look at your flower, you'll see you've got what I call the rough side, which is the side that's been down on your cutting mat when you've cut them out. And then you've got the smooth side where it's actually been in your die. So I'm working on the smooth side and going underneath. Okay, so round we go again. Just bring in that round as we go. Just each little one. Slowly, slowly, round we go. So when you look at them, if I hold that up, can you see on your mat? They do. It says, I think it's in the book in this one, it does say, they're curling face down. They look like 3 little spiders. It even says it on here. It's just wonderful. So we've got those going on. So the next thing I need now is my ball tool. And I'm just going to put my ball tool in the middle and just rub that round just very gently. Okay, on each one of those. So just rubbing that round really gently. So you've got that nice cut look going on. So now let's stick this all together. So I'm going to start off with this one right at the bottom. So I'm going to put some glue just around the edge. You'll see there's a little hole in the middle here of the flower. That will come clear when we do our next flower. Okay, but you've got that little hole going on there. And I'm going to bring in the next layer just to pop on top. And then I like to go in again with my ball tool and just push that down. Okay, so just push that down just to allow the glue to dry. You can see it starting to form into that nice flower. All right, and then we're going to take the next one. So glue again. So this one's going to be a bit of a two-tone rose. And this is the nice thing. Roses can be any colour you wish. You can choose what colour you want them to be. So I'm putting my third one on there now. Going to press down really hard. There we go. And you can see that's all cupped up nicely together. If I bring that right up to the camera, you can see how you've got all those little layers going on. All right. So now we're going to put some glue in because we're going to add our bud. So our bud is nice and dry now. All right, because we've been using our EVA glue. Dries quickly. So I'm putting a nice ball of glue on the bottom because this is flat. And we're just going to poke that into the top of there. And I'm just going to hold my finger on just for a minute, just for it to take off. Okay, or just get that little bit of a stick. Dries quickly, but I want that bit of a stick going on there as well. Okay, so I want that to happen. So we're sticking that down on there. So if I just bring, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to bring in a couple of bigger ones just to share with you. If you look on this one that I've done the yellow colour and then I've brushed the ends with that mango colour just to give that a little bit of more of a texture to the rose. But you can see how big or how small you could make these. They're great for your home decor. They're great for cards, scrapbooking, anything like that. Perfect. So I'm happy that's dried now. I've picked that up, that's dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is hold that in my hand with my fine nozzle bottle. I'm just going to put a little blob of glue on 3 petals. Doesn't matter which petals. I'm just picking 3. And then what I'm going to do is gather those 3 up and just push them into the middle. Okay, so just hold it in your hand, just gently, and just pushing those up into the middle. So it's forming, it's bringing the bud in to be part of the rose itself. And then I'm going to carefully just lay that on the mat while we look at our calyx or our leaf. Okay, because we've got that to do as well. So I've got my leaf here as well. So this is the last bit we've got going on here. So where are we? So I get my calyx. I think I'm going to do this with my pokey tool this time. So I've got the smooth side, not the rough side. I've got the smooth side. So I'm just going to just run my pokey tool over the edge so you've got that lovely shape going on. Okay, so bringing that round and on all of those. And then the last, and it stands proud again. You can see it's got that nice proud look about it. And I'm just going to go in with a ball tool again and just press that down in the middle. Pop some glue in the middle of here. Pick up my little rose, and you can see the bottom bit there. And you're going to pop that into the cup and then just hold it in your hand. Okay. And it even says, the final step says, place it in front of you, lean back and admire your first creation. So it just shows you how quick that's been to make a rose. But let's now add these quickly to a card, because I've got one prepared here. So I pop this just on here while that's done. So I've got myself a card blank. I've got the 15 by 30 card blanks because they're on offer at the moment with Pink Frog. And then if you saw me the other week with the Lisa Horton inks, making the Easter baskets, you would have seen that I did this lovely texture with the inks. If you have missed it, go over to the Pink Frog YouTube channel, and you can watch the Facebook Live or the live back, okay, and you can see what I've done. So I thought, well, I had a background left. I thought, oh, I'm going to keep that. We're going to use that. I'll use it in today's card. So I've just made a square. So I've got my rainbow Miri on the back. I've got my lovely bit of texture going on there on the front. I'm going to glue this piece flat. And I can go on with my EVA in the middle of my card there. So the other thing I have done is I've made some little leaves. So these are made from the poppy leaf die. Okay, so this is also available on the show. Let me just push that down. Where's my bone folder? There we go. Now that's another thing that I wanted to share with you, because people say, well, how do you stick the flowers onto your cards? So I've got, let's just bring all this in so you can see. Let's move the big ones out the way. So I've got myself 3 roses there. I've got a larger one, and let's have that one and the one we've just made. And I'm going to use my 3D glue gel. We've got the Pin Flare 3D glue gel available as well at Pink Frog. So I'm just going to position one there, and then another one just on here, and then the third one just on there, just a nice little group. And then getting the leaves, I've done exactly the same with the leaves. I've inked with Lisa Horton inks. I've used the Summer Garden, and I'm just going to poke that behind there. This would look lovely in a box frame. You know, you've got Mother's Day coming up. Imagine this in a lovely box frame. So if you're doing craft stalls or craft fairs, make little box frames that you know you can make with the Pink Frog card, and you can quite easily make some lovely little pictures and 3D cards to make and sell. So that is how easily you would attach them to a card. So that's our first card complete, and it just shows how you can put them on. So if I bring this one down again, you've got the 2 identical. Okay, it's just how you color your flowers will make them look different. Circle dies as well we have at Pink Frog. So let's have a look now at the other flower that I'm going to create with you. Now I've already die cut out, so I'm thinking, let's pop these to one side one moment so we can look at the next one we are going to do. I'm going to bring a big one in for you to have a look at first. This is made with different inks, but it shows you what you can do. This one's got a bit squashed, but that's fine. I can bring that up. Now, I love these because these always remind me of little ballet dancers. I don't know about you, when I was a child, I always used to think they were all little ballet dancers. So for this flower, we're going to need some stamens. And again, you've got these available from Pink Frog. So I get one of those out ready. So I've got that. And I'm going to take, for this flower, so let's find our flower in the book, because you've got your little Bible, so you're not going to get lost at all with anything that you are going to make. So this is what we're going to be making. So you've got all your instructions here. So it says cut out 2 flowers and 1 calyx. Okay, and it says it doesn't matter which size flower or die you want to use, and it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and use the one that I've already used, because I've got those cut out ready. So let's pop those to one side. Now this is where you're going to need the hole in the center of this one. I've got two together here. I have. So this is because you can cut several layers with that 160 GSM cardstock. So with this one, you are going to need your holes just popped out of your flowers. Okay, so I'm going to bring my blending mat back in so I can blend some colours on here. So let's move up this way. I haven't wiped this off here yet, and that's a good thing about the interference inks from Lisa Horton. You can go back and I can do a messy pickup with that quite easily. So this time I'm going to go in with Tropical Paradise and Lavender Fields, because I thought that would match quite nicely. They're the sort of flowers I would see in my garden. So I'm just looking for my blending brushes. There we go. So these blending brushes as well, Pink Frog do. You can buy them singly or in a bundle as well. And I've labelled mine with the Lisa Horton ink colours because these are a shimmer ink. I don't want to cross-contaminate the ink with any of my other colour brands. Normally I'd have one per colour family. So to do this, I printed it out on my computer on Mylar, not Mylar, Mask It, and then I just die cut out with a small oval die and stuck them on the brushes. So I'm never going to get lost as to what one I'm going to need. So I'm going to, let's have a pink flower this time. So again, you see me just going in with the blending brush. And actually, the Lisa Horton inks, even though on my blending mat they stay quite wet, when we've been making the flowers, you've seen that they're quite dry, which is good. So not an issue at all. So just, that's on both sides. Okay, let's do the third one. Okay. There we go. So I'm just blending that right the way through. Turn over and do the other side as well. Okay. There we go. So that's that one. And then I'm going to use the Lavender Fields to do the calyx or the back. Okay. Okay. I'm going to turn that over. Okay. So that's all done. So let me pop the lids on here so we can then make our fuchsia. All right. So let me move that out to one side. Bring my mat back in. Okay. So there's my mat. So bring in my little Bible of what I've got to do, because it's all in here, so you know exactly what you're going to be doing. So I've inked my flowers. So the next thing I need is my ball tool. So let's go with a little bit of a bigger ball tool this time. We're going to start off with the circular one. Now we talked about the wrong and the right side of the flower. That's the right side, and that's what I call the back side. So I'm going to go on the back side and I'm going to just gently just take your time, because my ink's just still a little bit wet, but that'll be fine. That's coming now. And I'm just changing the shape of the flower. So you're giving it that lovely cupped look. So that's one. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other one as well. So again, changing the fibres of the paper. So round and round, bringing that in nicely. So we've got our ball tool. So we've done that part first. So that's all good. And then with the Kallax this time, I'm going to go back in again with my pokey tool. And I'm just going to smooth that round to make the lovely flower of the fuchsia there. So you're just getting that lovely sort of spidery look going on. And then again, just going to pop my ball tool in there. So now let's gather this together. So fine nozzle glue bottle, and I'm just going to put some glue just around the center of the hole. Don't be too worried if it goes in your hole at this stage. You'll be absolutely fine. We're going to glue one on top of the other and you're going to offset it. Okay, so on we go. So just so it's offset, just bringing that round. I'm not happy that's offset properly. That's better. So just bring that in. And then if you're like me, I put a little bit too much glue. Just pop your pokey tool in and push it through. No problem at all. And now I need my stamen, which I have mislaid on my desk. So fortunately, I've got a nice bundle here, so I can take another one. So these are your little stamens. You can colour these if you wish. The choice is yours. So I'm going to fold it in half, but I'm not doing it dead in half. I've got, let me lay it on the end of the back there. I've got sort of, it's offset slightly. So it's not half perfectly in half is what I'm getting at. So we're going to poke this through that hole. There we go. And then I'm just going to cup that round. Now this is where you want to choose what length you want to have your stamen. So I'm going to go about there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just around the top to hold the petals in place. And then I'm going to take my last piece. I'm going to put a bit of glue around the top of there. And thread that in as well. Now, if this needs, can you see that's opened up a bit? Tweezers. I have got tweezers here, yes. Got tweezers in my toolkit. So I'm just going to squeeze that together with my tweezers so I can get that through the hole. Just popping that through. There we go. So just hold that with my tweezers for a minute. So just cupping that round so it looks like that little ballerina look. And if you really want, you could just pop just a little bit of glue on that stamen in the middle if you don't think it's very secure. All right, so that is our little fuchsia. I get my fuchsias and my freesias mixed up. So fuchsia, little ballet dancers. So I've got that ready, but as you can see, you can do them in any size, any colour you want. The choice is entirely yours. I've got another couple here in opposite colourways, and as your paper with your ink dries, they will feel more firm. Okay, so if you're worried about popping these on cards to post, please don't, because they do firm up. This is still wet with obviously my ink. So without further ado, let's pop together a little card. Now again, on Facebook Live the other week, I also use these lovely ivies. So let me see if I can find mine. So this is the ivy die. So again, if you missed that Facebook Live, go to Pink Frog's Inspirations. Pink Frog website, and if you go to the craft alongs with Claire and Dawn, you will see all the craft alongs there. And this was the card that we made with the ivy die, and this tiny little lit flower here is one of these. It is the tiny little one. So this is where you can make so many different types of flowers, from really complicated to really plain if you want. So I've done a couple of the ivies. Again, I've inked those through. You've seen me ink the other petals, so I won't do that just at this moment. So let's bring our card together. So again, I've gone with a piece of the 15 by 30. I've just done a half fold card, and I've used that lovely window die again. And then what I've done is I've die cut it out, and I've die cut it out again and stuck an ivory window on the top of my card. I got an extra background that I made the other week. So let's stick this into our cards. So I'm going with my bigger fine nozzle bottle, so we can stick a background, but you can see how the flowers you can just bring into your home decor, into your cards. The choice is yours. So now I'm going to lay this to see where I want it to be. Let's have it about there. So I'm just going to press that over. Okay, and then I'll cut that off there. I'm just going to trim that piece off the bottom. Now, this sort of card I would put an insert in as well, because obviously you want to cover that mechanism. So we've got our lovely card front. So now let's add, let me put the lid on my glue bottle up. That's it. Let's put the glue. Good housekeeping. Put your glue bottles back together. So I'm going to bring in the little one and add our ivy. There we go. So I'm just going to trail some ivy just around the window. I could put it both sides. I could put it one side. Oh, decisions. How are we going to do it? I might do another one on that side. Yeah, let's do two. But the nice thing with these dies, with the, you know, these are timeless. These are something you're going to come back to time and time again. They're going to be one of those you will use quite a lot. So just stick that on there. And then to stick my lovely flowers, I'm going to go in again with my silicone glue, my 3D glue. Now, when you're putting these on, obviously these are 3D, so you'd make a little box if you were sending this, or if you're giving it to someone local, not a problem. So I'm just going to lay this on to stick this down. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue there on the back and just lay that on the cards. Let's pop another one on this side. Okay. So we could just have them trailing, cascading down. We've got trailing fuchsias. Should we have another one here? I did have another bit of ivy. I think I'm going to put that on there first. So just, you know, bringing your card together with those lovely flowers. Stick that one down. And then let's bring the last one in. So we've got nice cascading fuchsias. So let me put the lid on my glue. Good housekeeping. Always put your lids on your glues. I'm going to move my mat out the way here. So that is how I made my fuchsia. So these books are going to be your Bible. So if you've already got these dies and you haven't got the books, do grab the books, because these are going to be your go-tos when you come to make your flowers. And if I bring another one in here that I did earlier as well, again bringing in dies that we've used on previous weeks on lives, but just showing how you can add them to your projects to give that lovely 3D look. If I hold this one up, the inside's fallen out of that card. Haven't stuck that in yet because I didn't stamp it, but you can see how you get that lovely cascading 3D look. With your 3D glue gel, just allow it that little bit of time to dry. Okay, I'm going to just flip through the book again just so you can see how easy these are to make. So let's just go through again. So you've got everything that you need here. You've got the 3 lovely people including Mrs. Pink Frog, who put this combination together. You've got all the things you're going to need to gather to make, but you've got these step-by-step pictures and words that show you exactly how you're going to make these, so you can see how easy it is to do. And I would say a beginner can quite easily do these. I hadn't made flowers like this until I used these flowers, but they are just a joy to use. But you've got all those wonderful ideas already in your books, so you can make them up, and you can make them in any color you wish. They will suit lots of different occasions. Let me bring the board back in again with all the different sizes that you've got. Let me move that card there and that one just there. So let's just bring that board in. So these are the ones we've been doing today. So you've got your smaller versions right the way through. I've even got a larger one here as well. But if you get that big bundle, you've got all of them. This one is this size, okay, that you've got here. So you can see how you're going to make all those different sizes, right from really big down to your smaller flowers. But look at the array of flowers that you can actually make just with those dies. It amazes me every time. So if you think that die, just that, one pass through, that's what I love about it. One pass through, you can just quite easily make your flowers. So if you pass that through, you would make 2 of your fuchsias very nicely. If you pass that through, you wouldn't need that piece at the bottom, but you can make 1 of your roses. But everything is in your book that shows you exactly what you're going to do to make your beautiful cards. It's all there. So let me just bring in these dies again to show you. That's my ivy die. Where's my other dies gone? They're hiding. I'm going to bring that to that side just so you can see all the other sizes, because I think it's going to be hard to choose. I would just have the big bundle, because you've got them all. Then you're covered, because you've got even these really big ones as well that you can make. So you can make bigger flowers quite happily. That's the nice thing about it. I've got some smaller ones here. That's made from that size. That one's made from that size. So you can just choose what size you want these to be. But you've got 1 die, 1 pass. Perfect. That's just the sort of thing I like. So I'm going to just flip the camera around. I'm going to bring my cards down here. Let me just flip this round. No, it's not wanting to flip. There we go. I can talk to you. So you can see the lovely cards you can make quite nicely with those lovely flowers. Even though that glue's wet, you see they're still holding place. That's why you need that 3D glue gel as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that little insight into making 2 of the flowers that are in the book. There's more to make as well. Let me move that out of the way. There's more to make in the book, as you've seen. Okay, and we will be bringing you more of this because I think it's something you've really liked seeing. But you can add them to lots of your different types of cards. That's the nice thing about it. So if you haven't already signed up to the Pink Frog newsletter, please do, because you're then going to get your 10% discount off anything on the Pink Frog website. You've got 10% off your tape pens, those lovely Crafter's Companion tape pens. They're down to $2.50, but then you can take your 10% off on top of that. You've got your 15 by 30 card, which I've used here today. So I've used both that. So 15 by 30. In old money, we're looking at 6 by 6 card blanks. But you don't just do half fold cards. You know, with Pink Frog cards, we give you that lovely score sheet. So you can do 10 different styles of card when you're making these cards. So you can do them in lots of different ways, steppers, Z folds, all sorts, you know, so you're not just doing any old cards. So that is the nice thing about them. I've just done half folds today because I wanted to show you these lovely dies while we've still got the discount out on the flower dies and the Brittania dies as well from Pink Frog, because I think that showcases them absolutely beautifully. They make great home decor pieces as well. I think you could cut these big ones out of felt and you could put them on little girls' headbands. So if you're someone that's got a craft stall, you could quite easily make up lots of different projects, home decor. You've got Mother's Day coming up. If you've got weddings coming up as well. I know one of my ladies did her daughter's wedding cards with this. So there is just so much that you can do with these beautiful flower dies from Pink Frog. So don't forget to sign up to the Pink Frog newsletter to get your extra 10% off anything off the Pink Frog website. Don't forget to join or subscribe to Pink Frog YouTube channel as well, because you'll see lots of the lives that are on there. So you can always go back and watch them anytime you like. And as we're uploading new lives, you'll get an alert as well. So sign up to the YouTube channel as well, because it's just great to have everything in one place if you like doing all things crafting as well. What else have I missed? What else have I missed? Oh, that super smooth card. I've got a big pack here, but don't forget the super smooth card is $6.50 for 50 sheets, but you're going to get your 10% off if you signed up to the newsletter. So that's going to bring the price down no end. And you've seen just out of that one pass, I made quite a few flowers. So fold it in half, pass it through your die cutting machines. The other nice thing I didn't even mention was the dies will go even through your smaller die cut machines as well. So if you've got the 3-inch wide, they'll go through there no problem at all. So I'm Dawn from Pink Frog, and thank you very much for tuning in and joining us today. And we'll look forward to seeing you all very soon. And thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will be back again next Wednesday. So I will see you then.